The role of apathy in the academic and interpersonal aspects in the adolescence of high school.
Causes impact in the social environment limited to the classroom and school. The evolution of the student as a mature and healthy person with stability.
Apathy can be overcome by enthusiasm, and enthusiasm can only be awakened by two things. First, an ideal, which the imagination takes by assault, and secondly, an intelligible plan to put into practice that ideal. Arnold Joseph Toynbee.
Apathy is defined as a concern of social nature which affects every aspect and stage of our life as a part of an aggregate in a daily basis.
Our biggest enemy as teenagers is indolence, which causes a lack of fierceness, leading to a total disregard in our surroundings. As teens, this issue is principally reflected in the academic aspect.
In this video, we'll get to know the importance from this situation instead of leaving it aside and answering the imminent question: how does social apathy affect us as teens?
And does this kind of problem have any repercussions in the ones that surround us?
So, as teens, we are all immersed in an environment where we can be involved and informed of all kinds of information: music, propaganda, international news, and social websites, for example. And guess who is the principal network to achieve this information?
The internet, of course, as well as the development of technologies that facilitate the connection with this media. But these have a huge impact in the world in which we live in, and mostly with the generations that were born by the moment of such development.
The new arrangement of social groups are identified by a set of combination of cultural factors and tend to define us as individuals, and also helps us to create our identity that is able to adapt to different situations very efficiently, which is very good, but we are also more vulnerable to fall into apathy.
It is as we were just trying to adapt into a sort of bubble where we feel secure or totally adapted. And eventually, if we were just in one stage very static, the loss in our true beliefs and ideologies creates an environment of knowing the reality of our surroundings that basically is ignorance.
So we can say that apathy is just one of the expressions of the use of cultural control to adapt in the easiest way, but it has its consequences in the loss of our cities and culture.
This kind of indifference is clearly represented in how education is carried nowadays. Teens are no longer interested in learning and helping to create an environment in which others are able to learn as well.
But why are all these young people losing little by little the interest in the optimum and positive development and knowledge gathering as a part of an institution by itself?
Part of our society, mainly the youths and young adults, live in an indifferent, conformist, and pacifist ideology. Here's a quick example. An apathetic student decides the easiest way because there isn't a direct worrying about his or her surroundings, and currently it tends to the loss of values, which brings bad habits towards the achieving the goals he wants or needs to.
So, as it is something obligatory to reach, he or she doesn't care about the process of learning, and that forms a criteria, ethics, or the perception of itself that lead to the awareness of the role as a student and society member.
So, do you mean that we live in a conformist and engrossed society?
Unfortunately, I do. Student apathy affects an entire social environment in many different ways. To mention bad values that leads us to this product, we have fear, loneliness, selfishness, resistance, cowardness, and intolerance.
And as a consequence, there are several reactions to this situation. The first one is that it can be multiplicated. The second, and the most probable analysis in the background, is the adoption of it as a new way to live life, or in the best option, it can appear interest to be, not just in the individual side, also in the one with interpersonal relations.
As well to approach our academic potential for values as freedom, solidarity, responsibility, or justice, giving as a result a real human being with motivation and a solid, mature, and healthy resilience.
Finally, we cannot define or classify the apathy as something changeless. It's more to understand it.
The massive information we receive nowadays and the unsteady ideologies it provokes, the loss of values and principles, as well as the inflexible posture of the society, are factors to take in consideration.
And what about the effects then? Do we need to divide it as how does it affect the teens and the others?
Actually, everything is connected. As we are creating teens with higher levels of apathy, then, in the other generations, it will increase, giving not only problems in the school, but also in the interpersonal life as a whole.
There is no way to prevent this silent but mental problem?
Of course, there's a way. In the school, we can be the change or the virus.
To not be the virus, then you need to exist, right? An example of actions to help is to feel capable that we are able to reach what we want when we are totally disposed to do it with hard work.
So talk to them. Do the dialogue in all the places that you can. The school, the house, or in any place to start to build this collective construction of knowledge.
But it's not only talk. Also, one thing you can do is using the means of communication media as a way to assume the responsibility that it takes by making a strong perception based on reliable investigation.
And the last one that we can suggest to you is a question. Can you imagine the world in the following years? And now, what are you disposed to make it better?
Awake now! Overcome the apathy with enthusiasm with your ideals. Make real your imagination and be ready to make the best plan. The best of you.